Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Alexis Bellino accuses Shannon Beador of writing her own narratives in fiery RHOC sneak peek. In recent episodes, we've had a bit of respite from Alexis Bellino and Shannon Beador's confrontations on The Real Housewives of Orange County. Sadly, their feud will return to the surface during the upcoming season finale. They're like oil and water, and there's minimal chance they'll ever appear on the show together after the season ends. Alexis throws Jennifer Pedranti and Ryan Boyajian an engagement party in a new sneak peek for the final episode. While planning the big event, she stops by Tamra Judge's home, and the two waste no time talking about Shannon. Tamra opens up to Alexis about what happened in London and how she believes that Shannon was the driving force behind her latest friction with Jennifer. If you've been keeping up with the show this season, you'll recall that Shannon claimed during the London trip that Tamra had ordered a background check on Jennifer's fiance, Ryan Boyajian. In the aftermath, Tamra shared text messages that indicated Shannon was just as interested in his past, leaving viewers questioning the truth. We're sure it will be a big talking point at the reunion. In the season finale footage, Tamra tells Alexis that she's never conducted background checks on anyone. On the other hand, Alexis admitted she had done them before and wasn't opposed to it. Ultimately, Alexis sympathizes with Tamra's current situation with Shannon because she believes that Shannon writes her own narratives. Alexis then takes to a confessional to say that it's exactly what's been happening over the years in Anything Shannon has said about John Jansen. Alexis has been vocal throughout the season, claiming that Shannon has purposefully said bad things about John for years so that the women will side with her. The dynamics have been complicated this season because Alexis is now in a relationship with him, so the women have been forced to form their own opinions of him. It's been a lot, but in Alexis's defense, Shannon has said a lot about John on the show, so we guess it's natural that she would want to defend her man. It will be an exciting episode because we already know that John shows up at the party while Shannon is there, meaning they will be forced to have an awkward reunion. This season, there has been much back and forth between them through lawyers over Shannon, allegedly owing him $75,000. Hopefully, they will discuss that to find some closure because we can't let this drag into RHOC Season 19. We already know the show will likely undergo a revamp next season, so a handful of stars may not be back. What are your thoughts on the continued drama between Shannon and Alexis? In a fiery sneak peek of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Alexis Bellino is back and has plenty to say, especially about Shannon Beador's tendency to, as she puts it, write her own narratives. The two women, who have a history of clashing, find themselves at odds once again when they meet up with the rest of the RHOC ladies for a group dinner. Shannon arrives late, appearing flustered but eager to make up for her tardiness with charm and quick apologies. The evening, however, takes a turn when Alexis finally brings up the past and some lingering frustrations she has about Shannon's influence over the group dynamics. Shannon, I've had enough of you painting your own picture of how things are supposed to be. Alexis begins, her tone sharp and eyes unwavering. For years, you've been rewriting stories and twisting situations to fit your reality. And guess what? The rest of us are over it. Shannon, visibly taken aback, shifts uncomfortably but tries to keep her composure. Alexis, I don't know where this is coming from, she replies, her voice soft but with a hint of warning. If you have an issue with me, let's talk about it without making wild accusations. Oh, so it's wild now, is it? Alexis retorts, crossing her arms. Shannon, I know what you did last season. You twisted what happened with Tamra to make it seem like you were the victim. And every single time we've talked since, You conveniently leave out the parts where you're the one stirring the pot. Tamra, seated nearby and clearly enjoying the drama, raises an eyebrow but stays silent, letting the two women go head-to-head. The other housewives exchange glances, a mixture of shock and intrigue spreading across their faces. Shannon sighs heavily, her hands gripping the edge of the table. Alexis, if you have specifics, I'm all ears. I'm tired of people just saying I'm doing things without explaining what they actually mean. Oh, I'll explain, Alexis says, her voice laced with exasperation. Let's go back to Mexico, shall we? You told everyone I made fun of you behind your back, which I didn't. You twisted my words to make it seem like I was attacking you. It's exhausting. Heather, who had been listening quietly, jumps in. Ladies, can we keep this civil? We're all friends here. She shoots a warning look at both Alexis and Shannon, but it only adds fuel to the fire. Maybe you're friends with Shannon, Heather, Alexis snaps. But I'm done pretending she's innocent. Shannon always plays the victim and somehow manages to turn everyone against anyone who questions her. I'm not afraid of you, Shannon. Not anymore. Shannon's eyes narrow. You think I'm playing the victim. She snaps, her voice rising. Do you know what I've gone through with David, with my kids, with my health? I've been through hell, Alexis, and you're calling me a liar. Yes, Shannon, Alexis replies, her voice calm but cutting. Because every single one of those situations, you manage to spin into some sob story where everyone else is to blame but you. The table falls silent as Shannon processes the words. She's rarely on the receiving end of such brutal honesty, especially from Alexis, who she always considered more of a peripheral figure. For a moment, she looks vulnerable, her eyes betraying a flash of hurt. But in classic Shannon fashion, she quickly covers it with indignation. You know nothing about what I've been through, Alexis, she says icily. And frankly, I don't need to prove myself to you or anyone else. Oh, but that's exactly what you do, Shannon, Alexis says, shaking her head. You constantly try to prove you're the only one with real problems, the only one who deserves sympathy. And it's exhausting. We all have issues, but somehow you make everything about you. At this point, Jenna steps in, trying to mediate. Look, everyone's going through something, okay? Can we just agree to let each other live our lives without all this judgment? But Alexis isn't finished. She turns to Gina and nods, her face softening for a moment. Gina, you're right, we're all dealing with our own stuff. But it doesn't mean we should let someone manipulate and twist things just to make themselves feel better. Tamra, sensing the tension isn't going anywhere, throws a smirk in Shannon's direction. Maybe Alexis has a point, Shannon. You do like to make everything about you. Shannon glares at Tamra. Oh, so now you're siding with Alexis. After all we've been through, Tamra? Tamra shrugs, enjoying the drama a little too much. I'm just saying, maybe you should listen to what people are saying instead of always defending yourself. It's clear Shannon feels betrayed. She looks around the table, realizing she may not have as much support as she assumed. The group silence feels almost like a condemnation, and Shannon's face falls. In that moment, she realizes she's lost the narrative she's carefully crafted for herself over the years. For once, she's the one under scrutiny, and there's no easy way out. But Shannon isn't one to back down easily. She straightens up and looks Alexis in the eye, a glint of determination flashing across her face. If you think I'm just going to sit here and take this, you're mistaken. You've accused me of a lot tonight, Alexis, but let's remember who you are. You're hardly the innocent party here. Oh, please, Shannon, Alexis scoffs. Go ahead, dig up whatever you want. I've made my mistakes, but at least I don't make a career out of playing the victim. As the tension continues to simmer, Heather signals for the check, eager to get out of the restaurant before things get even more explosive. But Alexis, undeterred, makes one final remark as the group begins to rise. Shannon, maybe it's time you face the reality that not everyone believes your version of things. The truth has a funny way of coming out, whether you like it or not. Shannon stands frozen, her face a mixture of shock and frustration. For the first time in a long time, she's left speechless. The group begins to file out, leaving her standing there, replaying Alexis's words in her mind. As the RHOC ladies pile into separate cars, it's clear this dinner has set the stage for more drama, with Shannon's carefully constructed world now under threat. And for Shannon Beador, who's made a career out of telling her side, the hardest part might just be losing control of the narrative she's always relied on.